Hey guys, it's me, Meteor, and welcome to another edition of What is Metroid Canon? Today we're talking about Samus Returns. On a base level, the story of Samus Returns, or really any version of Metroid 2, is simple. Knowing the severe threat the Metroids are to the galaxy, it is Samus' mission to head to their home planet SR-388 and exterminate them. Of course, there is far more to it than that, such as what the Metroids are and why they're a threat. Regarding the former, the Metroids are not a natural species as they were originally created by the Chocobo. Unlike the space pirates who weaponized them in the original game, the intentions of the Chocobo were far more noble. They made the Metroids with the intentions of holding back a far greater threat to the universe than Metroids could ever be. An unknown parasite they referred to as X, which they discovered as they were colonizing the planet. While we'll go into more detail about it later, this parasite could completely consume its host and recreate its form. Even worse, SR-388 had no natural predator to the X, so it could replicate at an alarming rate without consequence. Metroids were then created with the sole purpose of consuming this parasite, as they were immune to its infection and could successfully absorb its energy. For a while, it would almost seem like this plan was working, until something started happening the Chocobo did not account for. These docile creatures began to molt, from larva to alpha, alpha to gamma, gamma to zeta, and zeta to omega. Each stage of its life was more powerful than the last. They were far too much for the Chocobo to handle, thus, they had no choice but to seal them away by flooding SR-388, bringing an end to their colony as well. What happened after this is hard to say. According to the Chocobo memories, shortly before their escape, it seems there was a division leading to a revolution of sorts. Judging by the way the screen glitches upon its first view, perhaps we'll discover more about it in Dread. Interesting of note is that while Metroids developed the capability to use fire and electricity and even survive in extreme heat, low temperatures, such as those from the Ice Beam, still pose a severe threat to them. The Chocobo may have even planned this weakness from the start. SR-388 doesn't seem to have any area where cold temperatures naturally occur. The only icy area we find in the game is over in the Chocobo laboratory, likely the same place they created the Metroids. Regardless, as this whole project was done in secret, no one outside of the Chocobo would even know about it until the year 20X5, when the Galactic Federation would eventually discover this unknown species upon the SR-388 surface, the only place the Chocobo couldn't seal. The Federation even managed to obtain a few samples of this organism. Unfortunately, the space pirates attacked the research vessel that contained them and stole the specimen, endangering the galaxy as a whole. This led to the events of Zero Mission and pretty much the entire Prime series. Following all those events, a research group later discovered evidence of Metroids still existing on SR-388, at the cost of their lives. The decision was then made to exterminate the threat at the source once and for all. Each broken seal would reveal larger and greater threats, eventually leading to the Queen. Much like bees, only a very few Metroids have the capability of becoming queens. Thankfully, they were sealed off while there was still only one. However, after destroying the Queen, much like the 10 that hatched right before her encounter, Samus encounters one last Metroid directly after. A hatchling. A baby. The baby. The very last Metroid in existence. Being as Samus was the first thing it saw once it hatched, it drew to her like she was the mother. After much thought, Samus lowers her weapon and spares it. There are a few theories as to why. Perhaps she just has a soft spot for nature. Once as a child in the manga, she refused to kill another invasive species, finding beauty in them, trying instead to disarm them. Another theory is that perhaps Samus saw herself in that Metroid, its parents killed, along with everyone else of its species, it was the only survivor, defenseless, just like herself, on K2L. Whatever the case may be, this Metroid would even help her escape, opening paths impossible without it, and would eventually catch a ride with her in the gunship back to the Federation. There, of course, was another encounter with a certain purple space dragon, but we'll save that for later. In any case, that's everything we need to know about Samus Returns. See you guys next mission.